All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for attending. This is the council's meeting for April the 16th, 2015. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of this will be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later date. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with affirmative action requirements. Fire exits are located in the direction that I was just pointing. In case of a fire, you will be notified by me via the public address system. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit as directed by me over the public address system. Madam Clerk, can I please get a roll call?
Councilwoman Story. Here. Councilman Kelly.
Here.
Councilman Elmarossi.
Here.
Councilman Miola.
Here.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Templeton.
Here.
And Mayor Hoganson.
Here.
All members present, Mayor.
Okay. Can we get the prayer and then the pledge of allegiance?
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and all our perplexities. We ask for thy guidance, give us thy protection in all our dangers and all our sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, are there any communications?
Yes, sir. We have a request from the Church of the Assumption to hold its annual St. Anthony's Feast on June 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2015, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. and June 7th from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. And also close West Clay Avenue from Patriot Avenue to Roselle Street on the above dates. We also have a request from the Church of the Assumption to hold a procession through the streets of Roselle Park on Sunday, June 7th, 2015, from 1 to 2 p.m. in conjunction with their 15th annual Feast of St. Anthony, along with police escort to ensure safety of the participants. Procession route departs the church onto Chiego Place and proceeds to West Clay Avenue, turning east right onto West Clay Avenue and proceeding to West Grant Avenue, turning slight right onto West Grant Avenue and proceeding to Chestnut Street, turning north left onto Chestnut Street and proceeding to West Clay Avenue, turning west left onto West Clay Avenue and proceeding west, crossing Locust Street and continuing west on West Clay Avenue, returning to the church at Chiego Place.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything? This was okayed by the chief? Yes? Oh, right. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to know if we can rearrange the agenda. And I'd like to move that we go to resolution 127-15. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, 130-15.
130 do the first one, so 128 first.
Oh, we got the 127 first, okay. That's right, yeah, because we got to get rid of the first one, we didn't hire.
Accepting the retirement of Michael Bell from the position of patrolman for the Roselle Park Police Department effective June 1st, 2015, resolution 127-15.
Councilwoman?
Sorry, Mayor. I would like to make a motion that Resolution 127-15 be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments? I'd like to just make one. I had the opportunity of working with Mike Bell, a.k.a. the Hammer. I broke my kin. we didn't have a time frame on what time the council would end. I could be sitting here telling you stories all night. Mike was a dedicated cop, good cop. I put my life in his hands, and his daughters are grown, so to see his daughters grow up and everything. So Hammer, there is life after the job. Good luck, and all the power to you, brother. Okay, now, Madam Clerk, can I please have Resolution 130-15, please, 130-15?
Resolution 13015, appointment of Kyle M. Snyder to the position of probationary police officer in the Roselle Park Police Department.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that resolution number 130-15 be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments? Okay. Could we please have Kyle Snyder come up forward with his family, friends? Who's gonna hold the Bible? Mom, Dad, family? No, come up. We don't bite. No? No. Left hand, raise your left hand on the Bible. Raise your right hand. Okay. I, your name,
Kyle Martin Snyder,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will
and that I will
bear true faith
bear true faith
and allegiance
and alliance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established
established
in the United States
in the United States
and in the state
and in the state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further
I do further
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
and perform all the duties
of probationary patrolman
of probationary patrolman
in the Borough of Roselle Park
in the Borough of Roselle Park
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability,
of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
All I did was 1 minute speech.
I'd like to thank all my family and friends for coming out and supporting me, but most importantly, Mayor Hokinson, Chief Morrison, for giving me the opportunity, and the rest of the council and everyone else for making this day possible. I promise to serve to the best of my capability every day in the Borough of Roselle Park. Thank you, everyone.
I'd like to welcome Kyle to Roselle Park, now Officer Snyder, to Roselle Park. He comes to us from Carteret Police Department, where he served as a Class 2 Special. He took the initiative to put himself through the Police Academy, where he graduated from Ocean County Police Academy. He showed an interest here in Roselle Park. He was interviewed along with several other candidates. Kyle, by far, was the #1 candidate here in Roselle Park. Kyle, I congratulate you, and I wish you many, many years of success, happiness as a police officer.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, party time.
Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations to Kyle. Welcome aboard. I'd like to go back to the, I'd like to get a motion for the communications in a second, please. The communications, the request from the Church of the Assumption and the march. I need a request.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve the request from the Church of the Assumption.
Second?
Thank you.
I'm going to change it around a little bit. Report of communications, recommendations of the mayor. So we're supposed to be expecting Owen Miller, the student that won the science fair. So we're going to just, hopefully he'll be here. He said he'd be in around 7:15. So, okay. Last meeting we started with the second ward. So tonight we'll start with the third ward. Councilman Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Just two quick things. I know it was mentioned at the last meeting that Roselle Park did receive a municipal aid grant from the DOT for West Colfax. I did speak with the engineer. I think I may have been exchanging emails with you and the engineer. He did mention the portion out of the address. I could vouch that area 100% needs it, I'm sure. Many others can as well. Do we have an estimation or timetable on it, or it's still early on that?
It's still a little bit early. We still got to go out for bid.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, that will be discussed at Thursday's budget meeting, next Thursday's budget meeting, and then it'll be put in that bond ordinance when we...
Okay, yeah, and then the mayor just passed me the communication we received confirming it, just informing us that the Department of Transportation, we are pleased to report that the Department of Transportation at Roselle Park Borough will receive $109,000 for roadway preservation improvements on West Colfax Avenue, and it just goes along to thank and I think it'll be beneficial to the community. And then just one last thing, just a quick update. Early in the year, I had mentioned or requested for the Borough of Roselle Park to explore the mobile application public stuff. Kind of bat around the idea, explain it a little bit to members of mayor and council, residents. Some people even have heard about it. Other towns do use it. It's a mobile app that is essentially designed to increase efficiency, accountability at the municipal level, quality of life issues. So you're able to report minor things through your cell phone, app, go through the website, and report the minor things, potholes, broken street lights, small quality of life issues as such. And it did seem at the time was the unofficial consensus that, why not bring them in, have a demo, we'll get, the tangible value of the application. The delay in bringing them in was a multitude of things, just, budget season, just getting busy, different things like that. And initially, the representative from Public Stuff preferred to do a remote demo over the computer, and managing 8-10 different schedules would be difficult for that. So along with the help from a few people, was able to get them to agree to come in and present before mayor and council before one of our meetings. So I gave them the ballpark range, maybe one of the May meetings. They'll come in before one of the meetings just to highlight the value of the application and see if it's something we would be interested in. And a reminder as well, one of the reasons why I had initially brought it up, I saw Roselle next door using it. They've had a great success, especially in the accountability department. They're able to see each department, how many reports they've gotten, how many reports they've successfully completed, the sufficiency rating on whether or not they completed that in a timely manner. And Mayor Holly, or well now Assemblyman Holly, You know, it also extended an open invite to any Roselle Park official, employee, borough employee, DPW worker, whoever wanted to come by and get a first-hand account of it live in action, so you can really get the value out of the app. Before or after your presentation, you said absolutely still open to that. But I just wanted to confirm, you know, if it would be a problem, conflict, or if there are any objections to, you know, at least have public stuff come in and just, you know, give us a brief presentation on the mobile app. Okay.
May 7th is the budget hearing, so second meeting.
Do maybe the second meeting then? Okay. All right, so I'll touch base with them and bring the communication back. But that's pretty much all I have to report on right now.
All right, thank you, Councilman. I see that we have the Miller family here, so we're going to go back to certificate and proclamations. So at this time, I would like to turn the meeting over to Councilwoman Story.
Okay, we're here to honor Owen Miller today because he did a fantastic job of growing cabbage. Now, the company gives out seedlings to thousands of students and to see if they can be successful in growing this in agriculture. And my understanding is that Owen came home and said, I want to do this and I want to win. And it isn't even so much honoring the fact that he grew this, it's honoring that determination and that follow-through, which I think is just tremendous. So if I can just read this certificate of achievement. Bring him up. Family. Okay. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Roselle Park wish to recognize Owen Miller, a Sherman School fourth grader, for being selected the 2014 New Jersey State winner of the National Bonnie Plants Cabbage Program. And whereas on March 30th, 2015, the Secretary of Agriculture, Douglas Fisher, visited and spoke to the Sherman School fourth graders. And whereas after Mr. Fisher's talk, a representative from Bonnie Plants presented said Owen Miller with a certificate and a $1,000 scholarship. Now, therefore, be it resolved that a copy of this proclamation, signed by the mayor, be presented to Owen Miller in honor of this occasion. I hereby approve the foregoing proclamation, the 16th day of April, 2015, Mayor Carl A. Hokinson. So this is for you. Thank you very much for your fabulous job you did.
I'm all over Mike. Was Bonnie that sister? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Owen, before you leave, you think you could do me a favor? You think you could do something with cabbage to help my financial officer? You think you could grow that? You think you could grow something to make it like real cabbage, like?
Honey.
Huh? Or if you want to use your talents, you know, we have that community garden starting. Saturday. I bought a lot, so you can come help me because I believe in green concrete. So
We have spots available if you want to buy.
if you want to come help me, because I'm all thumbs when it comes to planting. But if you can really help my financial officer turn that cabbage around, I'd appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good. That's what our youth is all about. Councilman Kelly, are you done, sir?
Yes.
Okay, fourth ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start with congratulate Kyle Snyder. Welcome aboard in Roselle Park. Wish him lots of success. And I also like to congratulate Michael Bell and his retirement and I want to thank him for all his service. Did a good job. I'd like also to congratulate Owen Miller for his achievement and certificate. Congratulations. Second, I attend the environmental meeting on Wednesday, April 8th. Great success meetings. We on Saturday, April 11th, community garden is coming along. We 10 o'clock in the morning and Saturday, there was more than half of the spots being sold, but there is still plenty left. So you're welcome if you want to come next week. Thank you for the DPW running the water lines. They did a really good job. I'd like to thank the DPW again. Also, if any resident or anybody has outside chair or table like to donate, welcome to bring it to us. Maybe you want to contact me. This time, this is for anybody report. Thank you.
Thank you. Fifth Ward.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to start off congratulating Michael Bellman's retirement and Officer Snyder. Congratulations also to Owen Miller. I'm doing a couple of things. I stopped by the Casano Center with my wife to talk about the Wedding Expo featuring park businesses. Ruben had some great ideas. We're still working on it with Councilman Story. My wife's going to reach out to the Hispanic business in town. While I was there, a couple seniors came up to me and said Ruben is working out very well and he's coming along with great ideas. In the last 2 weeks, my family and I walked the Fifth Ward and ran into a couple residents. I introduced myself as a Fifth Ward councilman. Let me see. Last Saturday, my family and I went to the community garden on Valley Road and bought a plot to grow vegetables. We're very excited. Can't wait to come this Saturday and get everybody started. I want to apologize to the Fifth Ward residents. Last meeting, I stated that I'll be passing out my flyers with my contact information, but there was a problem with the printer. I'll have them passed out within a week. And that's pretty much everything.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Story, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to congratulate Officer Bell on his retirement, and I hope he just has a great retirement and really enjoys himself. And I would like to congratulate Kyle Snyder and wish him the best in serving the people of Roselle Park. This week there was a meeting of the Friends of the Library. The Friends voted to fund all the programs for the Children's Summer Reading Program. This comes to well over $1,200, so that's a significant amount of money. They work very hard to raise that money. I'd like to urge everyone to consider joining the Friends and helping them to finance these great events. The Library Board of Trustees met last night. It has instituted a social media policy, as well as voting a 2% raise for staff, which is in line with the raise received by other borough employees. Another thing that came up at that meeting last night was the universal class. For those who are not familiar with it, this is a series of video-based courses for patrons who are interested in personal or professional growth. We did have a testimonial from one of the residents who was taking one of the courses who said that the course is excellent. There are links to other courses and contacts, information by very prominent professors from Ivy schools that you learn on your own time and at your own pace. She said that the particular course she chose, she will end up with a certificate from it, and there is a very, very, very wide range of subjects, so I really urge everyone, all you need is your Roselle Park Library card number, and you get this for free, which is just really a tremendous, tremendous bargain. So I urge everyone to just take a look at the very wide array of programs that are available. Let's see. I urge everyone to attend the Board of Ed budget workshop coming up on April 22nd, next week, 7 p.m. And I'm looking forward to attending, along with Councilman El Marassi, the opening of the Workforce Innovation Business Center at Jersey Gardens this Tuesday. I'm hoping that we can learn how we can find more employment opportunities for our residents. And on April 24th is Arbor Day. I'm sure that Ruby Cha from the Casano Center will be talking more about that, but that will be coming up at, I believe it's 12:30 at the Aldine School. So please, anyone who would like to come by and watch the planting of another tree and encourage the kids, please do so. Thank you.
Councilwoman, budget, you said for the school, on the
Yes.
22nd. The time and the location, usually they rotate them, I don't.
It's April 22nd, it's 7 p.m. and, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Middle school for the budget meeting for the...
It is at the high school.
It's at the high school, that's right, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's
Now I
7 p.m.
recall.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Anything else, Councilwoman?
Yep,
Thank you. First Ward.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a brief. I'd just like to congratulate Mike, AKA the Hammer, I never do, for his retirement, and Mr. Schneider, the new officer, probationary officer. I'm sure he'll be fine. And congratulate Owen for his cabbage, and hope that maybe next year he can hit the 50-pounder. And I also was at the community garden on the 11th to check it out. I also bought a plot for myself, and I can use Owen's help if he wants to come by. I'll take anything I can get. I don't have to beat them, just like the mayor. And I had a few complaints on the 13th over on Walnut Street about all the construction from Elizabethtown Gas. And before I could even call them, they cleaned it all up. I guess they were expecting something to come, so they just moved it over to the public lot. I'm thankful for that. It's a safety call. I attended the Friends of the Library. It was very informative. My first one. I intend to be a regular meeting person there. I also joined, and I think a lot of people should join. It's not a lot of money, and it does the kids a lot of help. Let's see. I intend to be at the workshop next week, and this Saturday we're going to be at the community garden, and we're going to be setting it all up. So I appreciate if anybody wants to come by. And last but not least, the First Ward has a new Chinese restaurant. It's not known by a lot of people, but I ate here the other night, and it's very good. And we want to keep the businesses alive, so we would like people in, not only the First Ward, but the whole town. 209 East Westfield Avenue, Golden House. Very good food, inexpensive, clean. It's a takeout. You can go there too, but there's not many seats. But try it out. And once you go there, you can go there again. I told them I would pitch it for them, and here I am. And that will conclude my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Second Ward.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to thank Owen Miller for a great job. Congratulations. I know the father is very proud. Also, I want to congratulate Mike Bell on his retirement. I know Mike like 40-some years. I went to school with him, junior high to high school, and I know him ever since. So, congratulations on your retirement. Also want to, welcome aboard Kyle Snyder. I also would like to send my condolences to the Scarra family. Frank Scarra used to be the superintendent of the DPW in Roselle Park years ago, who passed away last week. So condolences to his family. On April 8th, I attended the recreation meeting. Pretty much all the winter sports are done. They're getting ready for spring soccer, which started already. So congratulations to all the teams and also the soccer team for the spring. Little League parade will be on Saturday, April 18th. They're going to meet at the middle school, Robert Gordon, at 12:15. They like to leave no later than 12:45. The route will be, they'll go out Locust to Webster Avenue and right to the Little League field. And all mayor and councilor is invited. The season will start right after that. The first game's at 2 o'clock. Also, this weekend is the Roselle Park Darts Club tournament. It's some good games. There'll be 2 games on Friday night, 4 games on Saturday, and 4 games on Sunday. So if you want to go out and watch some good baseball, go up to the high school fields. All the games will be in Roselle Park. I was able to get my flyers out this past week. Anyone in the second ward that did not receive one, contact me at 908-666-7821 or get me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net. And that's all my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to touch on a few things. Again, as Councilman Petrowski mentioned, my condolences go out to the Escara family. I knew Frank when he was the superintendent down at the DPW. When I was on force, we did a lot of work. And I got to tell you, he loved his coffee and that. So I was working midnights as I always did. And he would clean Chestnut Street. Back in the old days, at night, on the weekends, they used to clear Chestnut Street out for all the, all the stores. He's out there, he's freezing. I stopped by and I gave him a cup of coffee, all this thing of ice water. I can't say what he wanted to say, but Frankie, I know he's up there now. He's probably holding a royal flush up there. So congratulations. I'm sorry, but Frankie was a good man. He was a good superintendent. He was really good. I'd like to congratulate apparently our elite cheerleaders. They came in first, second, and third, I was told. So I'm waiting to get a contact number, somebody, see if we can bring them in like we did the last group, to show their support and how much the town really appreciates, for them doing that. I've been getting, I don't know if the first ward councilman, I don't know if you've been getting them, but I've been getting them, a lot of complaints about the gas company with the work that they are doing. I did reach out to the contacts that I have with the gas company to find out what, if anything, the residents can be done. And according to, I spoke to a gentleman, his name is Ricky Hardin, Hardin, Elizabethtown Gas Company. This email is dhardin, DHARDIN, at aglresources.com. It's DHARDIN at aglresources.com. His phone number is area code 404-319-4761. Again, it's 404-319-4761. He's explaining that due to the circumstances that the Elizabethtown Gas Company is regulated, which is by the DOT, Department of Transportation. They are also governed by the Board of Public Utilities. And in the chain of command, the municipality is the guppy, and they're the sharks. We have no say, none, of the meters that are going in front of the house. If you don't want the meter in the house, call the gas company up and tell them to cut the gas line, and then you'll have to go to oil. I understand that, yes, there are people out there with their groomed lawns, and I apologize. I mean, I can't apologize, but the gas company, it's their rules governed by the, it's a prefix, PHMSA. That's the Office of Municipal Pipe and Safety. 192, federal law number 192, or reservation fed on 192. They, the material that now they are now doing is updated, where at one time it used to be like a pound going into your house. These lines now house 60 pounds. So as you can see, the recent explosions in New York and so forth and so on throughout the state, that sometimes these gas lines that are so old, that's why they're replacing them. And they are governed by law that they have to inspect or look at the meter in your home X amount of times within a certain period of time. Once a year, twice a year, I didn't really get the number. But they are mandated that they have to. And the way things are going now, when people not home, refusing to let them in, they can't do it. So under the DOT guidelines, they are now putting them out in front of the house where they can monitor them at their convenience. So if anybody wants to call me personally, I will give you, the gentleman's name, number, and email address that you can contact them personally. He will make himself available to come out and speak to the homeowners, during normal business hours. I do have, where would I be without my dog and cats? For the months of March, we had one beagle and we had one dachshund. I'm sorry that the dachshund was moved because it passed away. Councilman Kelly brought up about, I'd like to thank Senator Kane, Assemblyman Bromnick, and Assemblywoman Nancy Muniz. Okay? It's nice to know that we can work together. We put the R's and the D's behind us, and we were able to come up with $190,000 for our streets, for our citizens in our town, so I thank them. And right now, that's probably about it that I have. So I will go to my Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick reminder, we have a capital budget meeting next Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30 upstairs. We'll be discussing the library and some streets and infrastructure projects. And that's all I have right now.
Thank you. Madam Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry, I had one message. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just want to remind everyone that Saturday at 10 a.m., everyone will be meeting on 133 Valley Road. We'll be beginning the community garden. The straws being delivered tomorrow, the straw bales, along with fertilizer in the soil. So it'll be lined up and put together with soaker hoses in a 9-day process. Then it will be sitting for 3 weeks, and you'll be able to plant your plants the week after Mother's Day. There's 14 spots available remaining, so if you want them, please come Saturday, you can sign up. And I want to express extreme appreciation to the Department of Public Works, who connected the water lines for all our soaker hoses. That's it.
At a considerable savings.
At a cost of $190. So I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
So is our Chief Financial Officer and me. I'm sorry, I had one matter for closed. It's a personnel matter, and that person was racist. Mr. Borough Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, per request of Mr. McGarrett at the last meeting and per your instructions, going forth with the closed session items will be reviewed or reiterated today while the camera's on, so that the residents at home can see or hear what took place last time. There were five closed session items. Technically, there were 6. There was a personnel matter that was listed by you, Mayor, last time, but that matter was not dealt with because the person was not raised. Right, that person was raised today.
Yes.
There were 5 matters involving pending or possible lawsuits, and that were Sesco versus Borough of Roselle Park, Ruck versus Borough of Roselle Park, Gottschall versus Borough of Roselle Park, Yakubo versus Borough of Roselle Park, and Calab versus Borough of Roselle Park. They were discussed and they were not resolved as of last meeting.
Can I just for the record, could you please advise the people out there that there was 2 matters, Yakubo versus Roselle Park and Cali versus Roselle Park, that the names of the people were not in attendance in the meeting, they excused themselves, please?
Yes, Mayor, absolutely. The matter of Calais versus Borough of Roselle Park involves the Borough Clerk. She was not here. so she was not involved in the closed session. The matter of Yakubov versus the Borough of Roselle Park, Councilman Yakubov no longer sits on the dais. In the tort claim notice, Councilman Templeton was listed as a witness. Councilman stepped outside when that matter was discussed. After that matter was discussed by the members of closed session, he was asked to rejoin closed session. He came, but he was not part of the closed session during that period of time.
Thank you.
Also, Mayor, I actually have 2 matters for closed session. They are Gotchel, pending litigation, Gotchel versus the Borough of Roselle Park, and actual litigation, Heart of Worship Church versus the Borough of Roselle Park. And finally, Mayor, I do want to thank Officer Bell also for his service. I did have a chance to work with him for 6 years as prosecutor. He's an absolute professional in the position. The borough was lucky to have him. As a resident, speaking as a resident, I appreciated him risking his life and his safety every time he was on duty to protect the residents. He'll be sorely missed. But I wish him nothing but the best of luck in his retirement. And to Kyle Snyder, I wish him the best of luck going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Abstaining committees and members. I see we have Rupen Shah from Marcus Hanna Center. Rupen?
Okay, good evening. I'd like to begin with thanking the Police Department, Girl Scouts, United Methodist Church, Robert Garden School, and Rotary Club for the food donation. We're also thankful for Charlene Story for donating ham and helping prepare the Easter baskets. We are also thankful to Ms. Colleen and Mr. Templeton for their generous donation for the perishable and non-perishable food donation. Thank you to Mr. Patel for donating truckload of kitchen supplies, school supplies, and cleaning supplies and toys. Okay. BAPS, a local union organization, will be holding a meeting on Friday, April 24th, May 8th, and May 3rd at approximately 7 p.m. The Indo-American Senior Citizen has scheduled a meeting on Sunday, April 26th, May 17th at 10 o'clock until 2 p.m. We have started planning for the Arbor Day celebration, which will held on April 24th at Aldine School. It's going to be at the front of the school, to the right-hand side. Through the Federal Transit Administration Section 5310 program, we are one of the organizations that have been selected to receive a new bus, which will receive within 18 months, which I had a meeting with NG Transit. The New Jersey Education Association has approved the RIDE grant. Also, CDBG has approved $1,000 for our handyman program. Also, we have received preliminary approval from CDBG in the amount of $18,000 for Senior Citizen Social Service Program. We have started working for Memorial Day Parade and reached out to the Rotary Club, Knights of Columbus, along with the Board of Education to involve with the Memorial Day activities. A Memorial Day Parade has been scheduled for Monday, May 25th, 10 a.m. with the route starting with assembly at Sherman School at 9 o'clock. We definitely will have in attendance the Newark Mountain Police to assist in leading the parade. Following the parade and the service at the Veterans Memorial Library, the Roselle Park Association would like to co-sponsor a free community picnic after the service. The cruising night car show for this session are tentatively scheduled for Saturday, June 20th at between 5 to 8 p.m. July firework date is July 3rd. Okay, we have started the laughing yoga. Has been introduced laughing yoga, and it's been a great success. The seniors are seeing the benefit in their life, and they wanted to see more in the calendar. April 17th, SAS from high school is coming to play bingo with seniors. April 29th is we're having a free afternoon movie, which will be around 12 o'clock. The All-American Brunch is on May 14th from 11 a.m. We have 10 new members signed up in the month of April at the Casano Center. We have also new members joining Healthy Bones program thanks to the Suburban newsletter. We have new web page for the latest updates, events, and information about the center. I have attended the meeting on March 27th with Ms. Teresa for the Pride Grant. April 1st meeting I had with Casano Center Committee. April 6th I had a meeting with the Mexican restaurant, Nalatican restaurant, for having Cinco de Mayo, which is on May 5th, but they wanted to have it the weekend. April 7th also I had a meeting with Sonia Cabeza to bring Spanish community involved in the Casano Center. April 8th I had a meeting with Mr. Lu to have Albanian community to involve in Casano Center. April 9th I had a meeting with the Community Center Association. April 10th I had a meeting with NJ Transit, Ms. Laura Williams, for the orientation of 5310 program. April 13th I had a meeting with Superintendent Mr. Pedro for the possibility of youth and kids activities at Casano Center. April 14th I had a meeting with middle school principal, Ms. Arlene, for the same. And I had a meeting with at CDBG for final allocation of the 18,000.
Wow. Managed. Any questions for the director?
How did you apply for the bus?
It was applied in 2011.
That's nice.
Prior administration.
It's going to take another 18 months to get it.
Yes.
Thank you. I see we have our historian, Pat Butler. You leave it on. Come on.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Pat Butler, 150 Dog Street, Town Historian and President of the Roselle Historical Society. I'm sorry,
A little closer, just a little closer.
how's that?
Don't yell too loud, because Joe will flip out.
We don't want that to happen. Good evening, everyone. May is such an exciting month for us at the Roselle Park Museum. We are going to be open on Saturdays, beginning May the 2nd. In addition to Wednesdays, the hours will be 10 to 1. And Joe, if I hold this still, I hope you can focus on it. If not, I will give you a copy to put on TV 34 so that the residents can see it. And also, you'll see them posted all around town next week. I've just started the campaign for our new hours. Very exciting time. You know, our museum is preserving our past. It is the place in town where you can find out the secrets you never knew before, the history secrets of our town. Mr. Shah contacted me last week. He had found some rare photos at the Casano Center. And he said, you know, I have this box, I'm not quite sure what to do with it. There's some interesting photos in there. that might need to go to the museum. So I went over and picked up the photos, and sure enough, there's some wonderful things. So residents, I know you're listening, if anyone has a house with a lot of really interesting artifacts from the past, from either your family or from prior residents, please call the museum, leave me a message. It's 908-245-1776. Love that phone number. Give a call and I'll come over to your house and pick them up if you'd like from you, or you can drop them off at the museum lobby. But families, come out on Saturday. You go to the post office, it's 10 o'clock. You pick up your P.O. box. The museum is right across the street. The doors open, and on May 2nd, Pinho's cookies for everyone. So I hope you come on down. Members of council, everyone, please join the museum, become a member. I am so happy to say tonight that we have members on the dais tonight who are lifetime members of the Roselle Park Historical Society. A yearly membership is only $2. A lifetime membership is a real deal. It's only $25 for life. And it's such a great experience. We have a lot of fun. We're looking forward to all the events that are happening in town this year and marching in the parade. So thank you and good night. Hope to see you on May 2nd, member Pinhouse.
Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman, may I have a motion to approve the reports of departments?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve the reports of departments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Councilwoman,
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to open the public portion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the public portion of the meeting is open. Anyone wishing to speak, please come up, give your name and address. Tell us what's on your mind.
Leona Suffer, 22 East Westfield Avenue. This year starts the 7th year of the Roselle Casano Center Community Art Gallery. And we're going to celebrate that with a group exhibit of artists who have exhibited in the past at the gallery. This exhibit will open next week and will run until June, mid-June sometime. So stop by and see what the gallery has offered over the years. We'll have about 10 to 12 works there. Also, on Monday, April 27th, from 6:30 to 8 p.m., there is the monthly poetry night. And since this month is National Poetry Month, I'd like to invite you to come down and engage in a workshop that I will be conducting about how to use the artwork in the gallery to inspire you to write poems. So that should be an interesting night. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. First off, I have Chris Miller, 520 East Grand Avenue. First off, as a father, thanks so much for being kind and gracious to my son with a cabbage dinner that he did, and I remember it well. And it was a great experience and wonderful, and for him, but also globally, it's great to put Roselle Park on the map as much as possible as we can. And so I thank you for that. Tonight on an ordinance you'll be, I guess it's your second reading that you'll be working on concerning fall soccer and the approval of the fees that we have on your docket. I just wanted to just briefly speak on that. And first of all, you did the first reading your prior meeting, correct? And I just wanted to just say that we're excited for our fall season coming up, and the fees that we have here, there is an increase in the fees, and I just wanted to say, explain why the reason it was an increase for the fees. We And so we're very excited for the fall soccer season. We just finished up our indoor season, which probably had about 260 to 280 children involved in it. We had 18 teams, all the way from kindergartners up to 7th and 8th graders play. And it worked so well, and a lot of it has to do because of the cooperation the borough played and helped us getting going, because we had to get that going. Like I said, when I was here a while back, a couple meetings back, we had to get that going rather quickly, and you guys were very helpful in that, and you were the main reason for our success, so I thank you. But now we're on to the fall, and actually, I mean, we're saying fall and it's the spring, and what are we doing? And we actually, the fall registration is going to start on April 27th, and we're going to open our registration for the fall then, and that's going to run through May. And I have my thing here, and I spoke with Mr. Blum and Mrs. Pereira as well, and we also agreed on an in-person registration night on May 13th at the Sherman School from 7 to 9 p.m. And so we're looking forward to that. And my goal, our goal as a soccer committee, is to get the registration, most of the registration, I'd say 95% of the registration done, team set, roster set by the end of June, and have the fall schedule set by July. So before everyone goes away on vacation, they'll know exactly what's happening, so they can know exactly when to plan Joanne or Johnny's birthday parties in the fall. So, and we'll have the uniforms all set to go, and it'll be a fantastic experience for all. People were very pleased with indoor, and I want to continue that good feeling and and getting the kids to play. I mean, that's the most important thing, because they enjoy athletics, whether it's baseball, soccer, football, basketball, whatever we have to offer. I'm really looking forward to that. So, but there is an increase, and part of that increase is we just were reactivated with this New Jersey Youth Soccer Association. We had a number that was dormant for a while, and I called them up and was investigating it. And so we're now acting, we're recognized by New Jersey Youth Soccer. And what that means is, pardon me, we can now apply for insurance, medical insurance for our children. And that's part of the increase. For $9 for each child, they will get medical insurance, which is very, very important. Now, for most of us who are fortunate enough who have, say, primary medical insurance, this $9 would go to secondary if needed. But there are a lot of families in this town that do not have any medical insurance, and that would serve as their primary, which is very, very important, because, God forbid, a child gets hurt and needs medical assistance, they'll be covered medically, and that gives me peace of mind, because this is tough economic times. We still are in tough economic times, and protecting our children and protecting the financial, well-being of our families is, as president of the Soccer Association, is my concern and ours as a board. So that's part of the increase. And the other is to continue to improve our facilities and our infrastructure. For instance, one thing that I want to do and that I'm going to present to our soccer board is to purchase 2 new soccer goals for our U10 and under children. Because right now we're using the goals that they use in FIFA and World Cup. And for an 8-year-old, for a 6-year-old, that's pretty gigantic. And those goals are approximately 24 feet by 6.5 feet high. Well, the U10 goals and smaller goals, those are 18 feet. So it comes in a little bit. But it really, it's appropriate for the kids. And to have those goals there and to have the appropriate field size as well, I think it'll be advantageous to them as they grow in the sport. So that's also part of the increase. But we just want to really, the people in Roselle Park, the people who are committed to soccer, they will pay for a good product. We put a good product out there, and we're organized, and we put a really good product out there. They will pay for it, and they will see where their money is going, and that's what's most important. Also, one other thing exciting, and also the schedule is set. We're set to start our fall season on September 12th. That's Saturday, and to go through up until November. And it would, I believe, the last is games would be on the first weekend in November, but then we'd have a final weekend where we'd have a celebration, a season-end celebration where we all get together. Because I'm big on community, and I'm big on not just having individual games, but
getting to know who we're playing against and who we're playing with, and get not only the children, but also the adults, because the more we get talking, the more we build community, the stronger we're going to be in Roselle Park. And finally, one thing that we're going to offer as well, and it's still in the negotiation stage right now, but we look at the demographics, and I looked at what happened in indoor soccer, I looked at the boys and the girls, and one thing that I see is when it's younger, the kids it's 50-50 boy-girls as far as participation. But as the age groups get older, it goes to about 70% boys, 30% girls, 80%, 20%, and the girls just, they don't want to play co-ed anymore. Some of them do. One thing I would like to do in the fall is offer all-girls soccer teams, for single gender teams for parents of girls. And that would be for U10, U12, and U14. Where would they play? Well, they would play in inter-county league, which has all girls. And the families would still have options to play in fall rec, but this is still in the infancy stages. But I'm very excited about that possibility. So fall soccer looks great, and I thank you for looking at this ordinance for the increases tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bill.
What's the date that the season starts, September?
It would be Saturday the 12th we're looking at. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Joe Diorio, 824 Larch Street. First of all, I would also like to congratulate Michael Bell on his retirement. I always remember Mike serving the evening shift, and he was always solid, good patrolman, and he served this borough well, so I congratulate him. And it's time, so good for him. I'm really happy for him. Secondly, Mayor, you had mentioned about the gas company, and I want to accentuate what you had said, because the gas companies throughout the state of New Jersey are doing the upgrades, the meters. One thing that we did at my place of employment was that we had the gas company actually send letters out to the customers. They have a database of all the customers, so they know ahead of time what's happening in a particular neighborhood. So the responsibility is not borne on the municipality to try to get the word out there, put it on them. And we also had the gas company down there have a meeting available to the residents. It's something you might want to consider, so it's not all on you, per se.
Hey, I got broad shoulders, but no, it's
let's
nice to
spend
have a
that money.
representative that lives in town. So I just been getting phone calls the last few days. So if they continue, I will be doing that, yes.
Yeah, ask them that, because they have, they can spend the money in the envelopes, and they have the database of all the customers.
Thank you, that's very good.
Third, to dispel some of the rumors too, that regarding the revaluation, I was happy to say that we had our home inspected. It took no more than 5 minutes. The gentleman that came over was very professional. So I wanted to dispel some of the rumors that, it's scary, you don't know who's coming in, you don't know what to expect. So I encourage folks to open up their doors. And he came around 7 o'clock. And within 5-10 minutes, he was done. So,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Did he show 2 types of ID?
Yeah, actually he did. He was good. And he also said that he would be back at a later time to inspect and measure the outside of the house. So I know there were some concerns about people seeing others walking in a neighborhood and not knowing who they are, so you might again, I couldn't be more happy. He asked a bunch of questions. Literally, we had to chase after him because he was going through it so quickly. So again, I encourage folks to open up their doors. It's not scary, and I think it'll save you a lot of time in the long run. Lastly, to bring some levity and some seriousness at the same time, I know there's some, in order to dispel some of the rumors that 2 guys living together make bake cupcakes, and also to sing. I can assure you that it has nothing to do with you gentlemen per se, but we don't. And unfortunately, we want to help to dispel those rumors. So tonight I brought you some cupcakes for you to have during your closed session, so that you can have a little sweet while you meet. And in addition, we don't sing, although I don't sing.
He's a great singer.
I asked Stas if he could sing a rendition of Crazy by Patsy Cline, but unfortunately the key's a little bit too high. So I just wanted to present you a little something that you can chew on while you're in closed session. And there's storyboard. I can't do anything. So now I'm third finger, just do this. And
I know.
thank you, Mayor, members of council, and if you need my help with the gas company issue.
Thank you, and also, can you,
I will relay that to some of the women Munoz and Kramnik and Kane.
I had a very nice conversation. I got the phone call, and Tom Kane, like, oh, what do I do? You know how it is. You know, when you get the phone calls from the superiors. And we had about a 20-minute talk. And he's
a good man.
He is. We had a long talk. You know, the R's, the D's, it's like we're here to help the people. So $190,000 is going to help a lot of people on West Colfax.
Sure.
So I appreciate it, and if when you see him, please.
I will relay that.
I appreciate it. And,
thanks.
you know, good. Thank you. Anyone else? Wish you come up to speak.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. My name is Joe Carney, 155 East Clay Avenue. At the last meeting I came up and I spoke about the development of the solar property. And since that time I've posted some pictures on my Facebook page about the solar property itself and made some comments about what I think is probably going on there. Within a week of posting the toilet that was sitting on the property since January. The video showing a vehicle being towed into the property, the school bus, and equipment being stored in the property, the fencing that had come apart in December into January that was laying all over the property, the strewn paint cans on the property. The cleanup on the property took place. Now, it's not perfect, but it looks like most of the used vehicles that were somehow being stored in this property where they weren't supposed to be stored have likely been removed. It looks like the fencing, which doesn't comply with the ordinances right now because it's not shielding view from the street, at least the material that was on it has been removed. A general cleanup took place. There's still equipment on the property, and the paint job that was supposed to have taken place 6 months ago on the facade of the property that is all faded out remains the way it is. I don't know why it took my coming to a meeting or Facebook post for the property owner to do the right thing for our community, but I suspect that there are reasons why we've been punished looking at that property during my tenure as mayor and most recently. Now, I also said at the meeting that my wife and I were business owners downtown now. We've invested a substantial amount in our downtown area. And one of the points that I wanted to make again is that to allow development on that property by changing the rules, while it may be friendly to the new owner, is unfriendly to the rest of the business owners in the community. And what I mean by that is we want a downtown area. We want people to walk in our downtown. And by allowing development in that area, it will be more of highway development by changing the rules. Ordinance 2298 was an ordinance that was put in place in 2010 for a very specific reason. By changing the rules to Ordinance 2298 and allowing variances, what you're doing is you're changing the rules for for everybody else that abided by the rules for all those years. When I mentioned that my family was looking to expand our business, we were looking in town, that we held off, I was sincere about it. Somebody decided that that was stating that I was going to take my toys and go home. Oh, if that's what that person thinks it is, so be it. But the truth of the matter is that what my family has done is invested in our community for the benefit of the community, and I will not invest in the community for the benefit of the community if it's not going to be successful. I have that right, and that's something that I feel very strongly about. Since I started posting on my Facebook page, I've received in excess of 100 phone calls from people, and the posts that I've put on have had over 2,000 views. So I think that it's something that is well worth you talking to the members of the community about and determine whether by changing ordinance 2298 the way you did in January and continuing to bend the rules, if you're doing the right thing for the community. I suspect that what's happening here is that we want to get a quick tax rateable. The problem with that is that the property development that's being considered will give you a quick tax rateable, maybe a decrease of $15 or $20 is what I understand per household for the taxes. But the valuation of the properties in that area and the entire community will be much greater than that. If you want to have a downtown, you can't have highway development in the downtown. And the truth is that if you wait another 4 or 5 years, the increase in ratables will be 5 times that amount. So it just doesn't make sense to continue considering highway-type development such as an auto zone in that area. I've also posted pictures now of some of the other projects that Mass Development has, and I can tell you that we're not alone. In Union, there's a property that's much smaller than the Sullivan property, but that is also has junk vehicles parked all around it and has all kinds of debris in the backyard of the property. So it's not just Roselle Park that's being punished. In Union, there's a similar property. The next phase of what I intend to do is I hope to post information about what the professional planners have said should go into that property. And I urge you all to take a look at the ideas that have been put forth by professional planners previously. We don't want to be left behind. What happens frequently is that we in Roselle Park continue to stall, continue to think things through, and then we lose our courage. I ask you all not to lose your courage and to continue the fight. Even if it doesn't happen this year, it happens next year, the following year, because we held fast, we held firm. I think it's a worthwhile idea. I'd like to finish my comments this evening by wishing Rich Huxford a happy birthday. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
30 seconds.
Also, just to refresh, at the last meeting, you also brought up that there was toxic drums on the property.
I said there were drunk. I said I don't know what was
No, you said toxic. You said toxic because the next day I was on the phone with the DEP. There's nothing toxic on the property. It's groundwater. And the reason why the DEP was there was to test, not because it's Sullivan property, because of the gas station that was back there in the 40s and the 50s. So there was no toxic chemicals on that property. Number two, the paint can, I saw a paint can, it was dried up roofing cement. And of course, there's no roof on that building. So somebody threw it over the fence. So that's all I have.
I'll respond to that just because if somebody throws a paint can on my property or dried up roofing cement on my property, I'm still responsible for removing it. Somebody places a toilet on my property and it sits there for 3 months, I'm responsible for removing that toilet.
You're absolutely right, sir.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.
So here's the 150 Berlin Street. You're still mayor, right? You're not mayor until 2016.
Well,
We'll get to that later. Okay. Actually, more important business. Regarding the spots for the community garden, just a point of information. We went by, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, and there was nobody there. And I was under the impression it was going to be at the Valley Road. So I'll be there at 10, hopefully.
I'll save you a spot.
Thank you. Could you actually? Because I may not get there, but that'd be great. I have a question. Is there any schedule for the next reval meeting? We're supposed to have 3, we only have 2.
Respond now or later.
You can respond, that's fine.
I did speak to our tax assessor, Gail, and what's happening is we are holding off until the data starts coming in. And once all the data starts coming in, and A and B, this and that, so you probably might look at the 3rd meeting, because we have to get done by in around October 1st, so we might be doing it probably in around September.
Okay.
When the data comes in, but we definitely will have a 3rd meeting.
All right.
But we're going to wait for everything to start coming in, sitting down, explaining what they did, how the forms are, where you are. So yes, I would probably say in around September.
Okay.
Somewhere, but yes, there will be.
Thank you. Also, I must be going, I am crazy, but I thought the budget hearing, when is that going to be?
May 7th, 7 p.m. here.
I wrote today, I don't know why. Was that originally scheduled?
No, that was originally, and then we had, the meeting got canceled.
Gotcha.
But today was advertised in the paper.
Thank you, that's what it was. The Gordon Street Bridge, I know there's a meeting on the 30th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, it may be rescheduled. The freeholders are expressing a conflict. I got a phone call this afternoon. They may have to reschedule. I'll
Okay.
know better within a few days.
And this is just me philosophizing, as Don King would say. So the proposal is to take the bridge down and rebuild a new bridge
Yeah.
without trucks over a non-existing train track
Yeah.
for a bus rapid transit system that may happen at the least 15, 20 years from now. As opposed to taking it down, leaving it down, saving that money, doing it to another bridge which is in worse repair. Then when it comes around, but is there anything, and I guess the question is, because I was actually doing some research, and it looks like that's an abandoned bridge. Or it's an abandoned, the train property is abandoned. There was a 1976 ruling where Roselle and Roselle Park sued, I believe it was Conrail, and it was abandoned, and then there's no, who owns that bridge? Is it the county? Is it Roselle Park? Is it me?
It's an orphan bridge that the state has been taking over, that's giving out I've been sitting on the Union County Board of Transportation since when I was a councilman. And the project was brought up when I was there.
Okay.
And yes, you're absolutely right. They're ripping down the bridge. They're widening, they're making the bridge wider.
To allow trucks now?
To allow 53 footers to
Nice.
come over the bridge at 80,000 pounds.
Over a bridge that goes over nothing?
Yes. So
Maybe we should,
maybe
at that meeting we should discuss that. And plus when it's closed now, Locust is going to become a fun ride during rush hour. And then the trucks who can't go there are going to go all the way to...
No, they're going to have to either go to Linden Road all the way down to Centennial Avenue because the bridge is 13.9.
And so hopefully, if it's found out that it's rescheduled, please, because I think there was a meeting in 2011 that was recorded. There were a lot of questions that were answered then that I guess could be asked again. We're building a bridge that nobody owns, or something that goes nothing, that's not going to be there for about a decade, 2 decades. For trucks that we don't want coming.
Yes.
We're all on the same page. And here's another crazy idea, because none of you are giving ideas, especially you.
It's coming.
Okay. Since, am I correct to believe that council and the governing body, part of their responsibility to be legislators? Is that correct? Maybe? laws. You create laws and you pass them.
That affect the borough.
Yes, right. I don't mean the United States of America. Correct, of the borough. So in Congress and in Senate, they have sponsors. Someone who says, I'm the person who thought of this and the reason why. And I was thinking perhaps, either in the future, just to say, because sometimes, it's explained sometimes why a certain ordinance was proposed, but who proposed it and why? And it's not again because it's a cohesive, right? At the end, there's 7 people that have to vote. But maybe one person saw something either in their ward or in their travels or in their doing business.
I'm talking about borough clerk, because when I see the minutes, it's down at the bottom, sponsored,
Oh, it is.
motion by, and
Well, it's motioned.
Well, there's a lead motion, someone makes the motion and seconded. I don't know, Mr.
Oh, so in other words, if what you're trying to say...
You saw something and you're like, I think we should make a law about that. A council person saw something and said, I think we should make a law about that. And then that's the sponsor. In other words...
Who had the idea?
Right. Because that would be a good thing to let people know, well, now I know that you did this, and then there's a reason behind it, because the sponsor will say, well, or it'll be written somewhere, this is the reason, 1, 2, 3. Don't know if that's getting too highfalutin, but that's an idea.
No, I think it's a good idea.
And the budget hearing is on the 22nd or the 23rd, the capital budget.
The capital budget meeting will be Thursday, April 23rd at 6:30 upstairs.
So will the requests, for lack of a better word, of the previous departments be discussed at that meeting? Or is it all
Now, this is hopefully the final phase of first rounds. We'll have the library there, we'll be discussing roads and infrastructure.
Thank you. To be continued.
Anyone else? I mean, usually you're the first one up here. I can understand yielding to a lady, but you're getting me nervous.
Jacob McGarrett, 612 Sheridan Avenue, Roselle Park. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, viewing audience, members of council, Mr. Mayor Hokeson, good evening.
Good evening.
Were those cupcakes a bribe?
The
grooms. Out to the residents.
I'm sorry. No.
We'll investigate it later.
Yeah, when they're done.
I'd just like to say, you're the 4th mayor that I've sat over in that corner and addressed in all these years. You're pretty progressive. And I'd like to thank you and Mr. Huxford for telling the residents and updating them on the closed session. They are now more educated. An educated voter is a good voter. Thank you for your going forward progress. The D'Agostino litigation, is there anything on that one? I know there are a couple of them.
Which one are you talking about, sir?
Sir?
Which one? There's 2.
The 2. Give me one and give me number 2.
They're both pending.
They're both pending. One's being discussed tonight. The earlier one is still pending.
Thank you. Department of DPW Superintendent, the last meeting he was here, and he said, I turned in my report. Anybody got questions? No one had questions.
He submits a written report.
Yeah, but we pay him $80,000 a year for saying, anyone have a question? He should have it and tell the people what is in that report and the progress of the DPW.
Yeah, they're posted in the minutes. He's actually saving us time. getting in and getting out.
I remember, Mr. Mayor, I remember when I sat on council, I was a former councilor, in 1989, the best council that there was. We had 4 meetings per month. We had all our department meetings. But I'm sure you guys have your department meetings, etc., and you squeeze it into 2 meetings per month. If we needed 4, we couldn't get them. But anyway, can he, or give the put a copy on the table in the back. Downtown window painting. It's going to be a temporary thing. It's for the school children, and perhaps later on for adults. Get involved in artwork. Maybe some art people will move out and go someplace. So we should give that to mayor and council. It's temporary. So that ordinance.
It's been done before.
Oh, it's been, okay.
We'll do it again.
Thank you.
And we'll tweak it.
Mayor Hoganson, thank you. Resolution 12815. Explain. Who is Joe Clippens?
Joe Griffin was a dispatcher here for many years. Joe moved on to a different department. What happens is there's times that his days off will be able that we can hire him verbatim. So instead of bringing a police officer and paying him 12 hours overtime, a time and a half, we can bring Joe Gibbons to work as a police dispatcher instead of bringing a police officer. So it's a cost-saving factor.
Good. Good thing.
We tried.
That's the least we can expect.
Penny saved is penny earned.
Right. You're not fluffing it. That concludes my visit with you this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, viewing audience, members of council, Mr. Mayor Hoganson, good evening.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward and give your name and address.
Mayor, may I actually just expand upon, not that I don't want to expand upon Jake's comments, but previous residents, Roselle's comments in regards to the Broad Street Bridge.
So how was it going to be today? All right, go ahead, no, go for it.
No, I just-
No, I just wanted to make sure that last time there was a give and take, but now we're doing.
No problem, okay. It seems as though people have a lot of questions. This is going to be the 3rd time the state and the county or the DOT, whoever's, trying to come in and address the bridge or repairs, whatever the case may be. I know we'll have a lot of questions. I know we've done a good enough job as far as the information session in Roselle and here, the public information session, the presentation, etc. Is there any way, maybe the clerk has the contact information, we can start to put together some questions ahead of time, so there's no excuse for them to come in, get there with a question that, they may not have the exact answer they give, maybe a roundabout answer, or maybe they just, they may not know absolutely everything.
If people want questions, if they want to forward them to you, looking forward to we have a woman that's in charge of it.
Okay, because I'm sure we're going to have some good questions.
And we also have 2 representatives that sit on the Union County Board of Transportation.
Okay.
They can forward it also.
Yeah, I just don't want, because I can imagine some of the questions, potentially involving, research or anything along the lines. I don't want any excuses.
I just want to see a 53-footer make a right turn coming off that bridge.
I just
That's
don't
all I
want
want to see.
I'll get back to you, and then when's the next time I can get back to you? I'm never
All I
going
want
to see
to
you again.
All right. Okay, at this time, seeing no one coming up, can I get a motion, please, to close the public portion?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Councilwoman, may I have a motion that the minutes be approved pending any corrections?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that minutes be approved pending any corrections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Councilwoman, may I please have a motion that the bills and payrolls not be read and passed for payment?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, a reading of an ordinance tonight. Madam Clerk, please, title only.
Okay, open up public hearing on ordinance number 2437, an ordinance amending chapter 10, section 10-41 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park regarding fees for recreation community center.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that the public hearing on ordinance number 2437 be opened.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, anyone wishing to come up and speak about this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward.
Mayor, seeing no one, I would like to make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2437.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that ordinance number 2437 be adopted on second reading and advertised as prescribed by law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Madam Clerk, ordinance number 2438, please.
Ordinance 2438 is an ordinance amending Chapter 5, Section 5-12 and 5-13 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park regarding the number of licenses per premises limited for video games.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion that ordinance number 2438 be adopted on first reading and advertised as prescribed by law for second reading and public hearing on May 7th, 2015.
Second.
Any questions or comment?
I just had a couple of questions. I guess for ones like this where we do have the amended versions listed, is there any way we could have the original ordinance, at least the original paragraphs that were, or sections that were amending, and then the amended version, or even the entire ordinance and then the amended ordinance?
Sure.
And then just because right now I have a couple of questions for is, I know, so license fee was a change, so it's $250. What was the previous cost for license fees?
It was in 5-12, licensing fee. And this limited the machines to 5 in the past, instead of 15. The news clerk shall be paid annually the sum of $75 for the first amusement or entertainment machine or device installed in any premises. 2 machines, an additional $100 per machine. 3 or more, $200 per machine, not to exceed 5. The only exemption, which stays the same, is the Board of Education or the Borough of Roselle Park. Regarding the number of licenses per premises limited, it read, there shall be permitted no more than 1 amusement or entertainment machine or device for each 650 square feet of a public area, up to a maximum number of 5 machines or devices per licensed premise.
So, and I guess increasing the amount of allowable machines for the type of business coming in, but why such a substantial increase from 75 to 250?
Well, actually, what we did is we copied unions. So we went to the city of Union, who allowed the same amount, and went to their license establishment, what they permitted as far as 15 machines. And they, when I spoke to them, they actually felt as though that the income and revenue that will be generated would warrant for 15 machines an additional fee. So I just basically used that as our template.
And I guess while I'm not particularly okay with such a large increase, and regardless of the reasons why, are there any other businesses that are going to be affected? I don't know off the top of my head anybody else or any other business that fall under this category or have entertainment machines or devices or anything.
Usually the only ones that I've issued since I've been here, you'll get one or two, like a pool table in a bar or a jukebox in a bar, but not an amusement game or a device like this. So this is basically like an arcade.
So is there any permits that we currently have on file that would be affected?
I can run you a report of all the permits that we have for video games.
And then I guess the other idea I had, just because it's a new business in town, we don't have an arcade in town or anything along those lines. I'd like to go play some Pac-Man or anything like that, but new business in town, is it possible?
In 5-12, licensing fee. And this limited the machines to 5 in the past instead of 15. The municipal clerk shall be paid annually the sum of $75 for the first amusement or entertainment machine or device installed in any of these 2 machines, an additional $100 per machine, 3 or more, $200 per machine, not to exceed 5. The only exemption, which stays the same as the Board of Education or the Borough of Roselle Park. Regarding the number of licenses per premises limited, it read, there shall be permitted no more than 1 amusement or entertainment machine or device for each 650 square feet of a public area, up to a maximum number of 5 machines or devices per licensed premise.
So, and I guess increase the amount of allowable machines for the type of business that's coming in, but why such a substantial increase from 75 to 250?
Well, actually, what we did is we copied unions. We went to the city of Union, who allowed the same amount, and went to their license establishment, what they permitted as far as 15 machines. And they, when I spoke to them, they actually felt as though that the income and revenue that will be generated would warrant for 15 machines an additional fee. So I just copied, I was basically used that as our template.
And I guess while I'm not particularly okay with such a large increase, and regardless of the reasons why, are there any other businesses that are going to be affected? I don't know off the top of my head anybody else or any other business that fall under this category or have entertainment machines or devices or.
Usually the only ones that I've issued since I've been here, you'll get 1 or 2, like a pool table in a bar or a jukebox in a bar, but not an amusement game or a device like this. So this is basically like an arcade.
So is there any permits that we currently have on file that would be affected?
I can write you a report of all the permits that we have for video games.
And then I guess the other idea I had, just because it's a new business in town, we don't have an arcade in town or anything along those lines. I'd like to go play some Pac-Man or anything like that, but new business in town, is it possible or that Mayor and Council would like to explore waiving any licensing fees on these arcade machines? We don't even know if this is going to be successful in the first year, 2 years. We don't have to ding them for having an arcade. Like their business model is they're an arcade. So the way I'm seeing it is we're dinging them for each and every machine. If you have 15 of them on an annual basis, they'll just automatically start, $2,000, $3,500.
Well, here's the reason you may want to think about that. You may want to talk to the police chief, because when you have this many games, it does tend to cause a little bit of a crowd. In some communities, they frown on it. They don't allow 5 because they don't want anticipated problems with it. Not sure if you want arcades popping up all over town. If you were to be free, you may become like a Canon or a nail salon where you have 100 arcades all over. I would speak to the police chief because he said this one wouldn't be a problem. I don't know how he feels about multiple ones.
But, I mean, and all valid concerns, but I don't understand the public safety portion, the relationship between that and the markup on licensing fees. In other words, I mean, the arcade will still be there, whether he's paying $250 for a machine or $500 for a machine. So whatever element or crowd or 14-year-old kids playing Pac-Man it brings, that'll still exist regardless of the price. I'm just thinking new business coming into town, try to set them up for success, business friendly. We now are on a 1-year trial basis for free parking in Roselle Park. I just thought it'd be something we should at least explore. I don't know what the rest of the mayor and council think as far as, I just think $250 per machine seems like, or if there's a problem, I mean, they just call the cops.
What we would have to pay for $3,750 annually. CFO, that's excessive.
Well, you gotta understand something. This business has been going on for a few years in the city of Union. So this gentleman is aware of what he needs that he stayed in Union. I mean, if you wanna, I don't know if we can, do it, but,
I think if somebody is happy coming into Roselle Park at these rates, I mean, it would be like offering a tax cut to somebody who's not looking for it. I mean, I think that part of this, I think it's perfectly reasonable, and I think that it's a good thing to see if it is going to take a particular, and perhaps something of a burden to the police department, the money has to come from somewhere to cover that. And I think it's only fair to come from there.
First of all, let me just, before this whole thing started, okay, the first thing I did was I directed that gentleman right to the police department. Police chief and that gentleman had a very long conversation. He presented his plans as far as the security and the ongoing cameras that are going to be in there. I contacted Union, there's been no problems. Okay, so as far as police protection, there's no issue there. He has been paying this sum of money to the city of Union for a good many years, so it is part of doing business. If you want to sit back and say, hey, you want to maybe knock off 700, I mean, that's something, I mean, it's a good gesture for the first year, and then after that, if all goes well, then,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to impose my opinion on anyone. I just want to think out loud and see what everybody thinks about it. I mean, and since there has been no problems in Union where it's previously operated, I think it'd be proactive for Roselle Park to be business friendly, new type of business, a business that hasn't existed in Roselle Park for at least, at least since before I was born. This was written in 1980. So at the very least, a new type of business coming in, not necessarily good faith, but a quasi payment in lieu of taxes, only we just won't hit them with licensing fees.
We have to waive all the fees for all the people.
Yeah, it seems to me that it is a new business. He's not raising any objections to the fees. He's happy with it. I see no reason to create a problem where there isn't one.
Okay, then others will come to you asking for it as well.
Right, I guess.
You can't write a separate ordinance saying, well, you're going to pay because you've been here, and you're not going to pay because it's your first year.
I mean, we technically can, no? I mean,
No.
well, not, I mean, so we have an exemption here for, I guess, anybody who has an alcohol license. So that's an exemption where it doesn't apply to, say,
No, the number of licenses is only the exemption. They still pay the fee.
but their fee doesn't change.
No, it's okay.
So say,
The fee has to be consistent. I can't say, you come in for a garage sale, I'll charge you $5, but if it's your first time, you're going to get it for free. And you have 100 people or 600 people screaming, why do I have to pay because I got one last year, and he doesn't have to pay because it's in the car?
right, I guess.
So I have to waive the fee.
I guess maybe that's a bad example, but so the way municipalities are structured, and correct me if I'm wrong, if we did do it for 1 year, see how it goes, see if there is any trouble with, children at the arcade. Second year, no problem, say if there are problems or we do see, X, Y, and Z that we need to address, we're fully within our right to then impose a licensing fee, and there's no grandfather clause, so we could still then impose it.
But I'd have to waive the fee for existing people that are already paying. I'd have to waive the fee out.
So we're cutting income from this for the borough of Roselle Park, which we don't exactly have a whole lot of extra income sitting around.
I mean, we also don't have businesses knocking at our door either.
But this guy is, he's happy. We're not luring him, we're not trying, we don't have to romance him to come into town. He's happy, he's coming into town.
And
Why are we
also-
creating a problem where one doesn't
Also, in speaking to the gentleman, he is the one that came up with the amount of numbers that he wanted. He could have lowered it down to 10, he could have lowered it down to 12. He gave this because he feels that, again, in order to make money, you gotta spend money.
And he asked that if he becomes as successful as he plans, will we up the ordinance to allow 10 more machines?
I guess the machine amount's not troubling me, it's the amount per machine. So he would rather pay $250 per machine than $75 per machine. Why?
Because he's paying it in union. He's already paying it. That's the price of doing
This
business.
is what he expects as part of doing business, just as if you opened a,
Yeah, and I guess, we're not union. I understand he's been paying it and he understands his business, he understands how municipalities work, but just because that's the way it's been done doesn't mean we have to do it that way, especially when we have multiple properties, developments that could be coming down the road. I think it'd be it's a good word of mouth as far as what Roselle Park is doing and being proactive and allowing business to come in.
yeah, can we take a vote on it?
For intro,
And then, okay, and I guess the only other question I had would be, has this gone before the municipal land use board?
It's not, no, it doesn't. It's in our licensing area, not land use. It's not a zoning issue.
So we don't have, so I guess what category of business would this fall under then?
It's under licensing in our area. It's not under
So we don't have, do we have an existing,
zoning ordinance for pinball machines?
no, for an arcade? Do we have that in our code book or do we need to have that? I'm just thinking, I don't want 3 months from now, we're like, oh wow, that guy should have gone before the board and now that's.
No, he has to, we'll have to work. That's not our thing, we're not doing that right now, we're doing the fees
But
and
if we
permission
approve-
to allow
But if we
more
approve
than
it,
5.
if we approve it and then it turns out he does have to go before the zoning board,
He does not have to go in front of the zoning board, Mark.
Council, it's my understanding that the zoning.
Upstairs, the zoning officer was approached, he looked at it, it doesn't fall underneath him. It was done through mayor and council to change the ordinance, and that was done. It does not have to go to zoning, and it does not have to go to municipal land use board. The police department checked it, and everything was fine. The business owner that came and originally wanted this thing, he knows the amount of machines, and he knows the price that he was paying, and that's everything in a nutshell.
okay, I guess we could take a vote on it then.
Councilwoman Story? I'm sorry, what are we voting on? On the introduction of the ordinance. Yes. Councilman Kelly?
No.
Councilman El Marassi?
Yes.
Councilman Miola?
Yes.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Templeton?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 motion passed.
Thank you. All matters listed are considered to be routine and not controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Madam Clerk, we've already done 127 and 130. When you read, please, 128, 129, 131, 132, 133.
12815, setting the terms for the resignation of Joseph Gribben. 12915, authorizing the borough clerk to auction unpaid police vehicle. 13115, authorizing the treasurer to issue checks totaling $21,712.82 payable to 4 lien holders for redemption of 6 tax sale certificates and checks totaling $34,300 from the tax collector's premium account. 13215, authorizing the treasurer to issue a check in the amount of $600 for an overpayment of taxes on Block 205, Lot 23. 13315, authorizing the treasurer to issue a check in the amount of $1,579.92, refunding overpayment of first quarter of 2015 taxes on Block 128, Lot 19.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 128-15, 129-15, sorry, 129-15, 131-15, 132-15, 133-15.
Second.
Anyone wish to want to pull anything or discuss anything?
Just 129.50, please.
Yeah.
A roll call on everything but 12913. Councilwoman Story.
Yes.
Councilman Kelly.
Yes.
Councilman Omarasi.
Yes.
Councilman Miola.
Yes.
Councilman Trosty.
Yes.
Councilman Templeton.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor.
And I guess the only questions I had on 129.15, and I'll be honest, since we had such a late agenda, it just gave me more time just to kind of like look into it. I was bored, I was looking at different, even the routine resolutions. I was just curious, is that minimum bid the starting bid?
Yes.
Okay. And how do we determine to start at 200 versus 1,000 or anything like that?
Well, in the 7 years that I've been selling cars, when you start at 200, if the car has any value, the same 4 people that come to all these auctions, they'll start their own bidding more. If I go for 1,000, if I go for 250, the car doesn't even sell. Because usually the scrap value of the car is about $225 to $250. And that's what the average car goes for. If the car has any value, they're gone up to 600, 1,000, 1,500, 3,000, 6,000. If the car has any value, the car dealers know better than we do what to put down for it. So the minimum bid is always at least to cover the advertising.
Okay, and also, and this would be my fault if, you know, I've misread these before, there's no specific date, time, or location. I mean, obviously, I guess it says here to be determined at a later date, but I guess we really hold them, and then do we have a date and time in mind for this particular people?
No, date and time hasn't been set yet. They're always held either here in this room or if this room is being used in my office. And the date and time is advertised in the newspaper. It's also sent certified return receipt requested mail to the owner of the vehicle to make sure they know that this is the final sale is going to be conducted. And it's also posted on our webpage.
And I guess, in your experience, how are we doing as far as, you said, like bidding wars, you start usually at the same 4 people. Do we get, you know, a relative markup on?
It depends on the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle. Is it running? Do we have the keys? Was it in an auto accident? Was it taken for lack of insurance? Was it taken for drugs? It depends on a million scenarios, the value of the vehicle, where it goes, and how it takes off.
And I guess what I'm getting at, and I mean, I'm not a car expert, and I'm not exactly positive, I don't know if you have 4 flat tires right now, or anything along those lines. But they do have, or maybe we've even explored, I don't know, like, they do have like government websites where, you know, state approved, where, you know, seized vehicles, you can list them, you know, the website takes a percentage, and then it's broadcast out to, you know, the entire tri-state area, or really anywhere, whoever wants to actually come and pick it up, but you get a substantial amount more bidders to, you know, increase the possibility of a bidding war, or increase the possibility of maybe getting, you know, $2,000 out of a car that the bid was starting at, you know, for this, say, $200. I mean, for all I know, it could be, you know, trading value at $3,000. I'm not saying you'll get that, but, at least some type of, unanticipated revenue out of it. I mean, have we explored websites like that before?
I've called websites and they charge a fee, as you said, they charge a fee. Normally between the advertisement cost and the value of these vehicles, normally that if they're junk, like I said, they're not gonna go for more than $250. We would lose money if we had to give someone else a portion of the money that we do get on 90% of vehicles. They're few and far between that they generate any type of revenue. We had one car, a truck once, generate $16,000, and that was without sending it to anyone. We've had one car go for $3,500, one go for $2,700. On the whole, these cars are really not worth anything for the owner of the vehicle. These are police cars that have been taken them off the street. They're not our old cars.
Right. They were pulled over, they were driving at the time.
They're driving at the time, but the cars are usually not worth enough for the owner to even go get it out of the storage.
Right. No,
That's what they're worth.
Yeah, and that's a valid point. And I guess, and again, I don't know to the quality of the vehicle or its resale value, but, even checking out govdeals.com, you'll see even vehicles with 200, 300,000 miles on it going for, $1,200 or something like that. So you do get, a little bit more bang for your buck on them when you are able to increase the amount of people who will be bidding on them. I guess that's just the point I'm trying to make. I have no problem with this vehicle going to auction. There's just more along the lines of have we explored or should we explore, maybe getting some more revenue out of these vehicles. I don't even know how many we have. I see it on here every so often, maybe a few every couple months.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my only questions on it.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 129-15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, nothing going back to the committees. Madam Clerk, make a motion to go into close.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Okay, whereas Mayor and Council, Borough of Roselle Park, wish to discuss matters which are described in the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, Sunshine Law, and whereas the general nature of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are
Mayor, legal has two. One is possible litigation involving Mr. and Mrs. Gottschall versus Borough of Roselle Park, and pending litigation, Heart of Worship Church, Legacy versus Borough of Roselle Park.
And I have one that's a personal matter, and the person has been riced. Whereas the time and the circumstances under which these items are discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Roselle Park adjourn the open portion of this meeting and open the closed portion of the meeting to discuss the above items. All in favor?
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. At this time, we're in closed session.
Second.
Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
That was good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, during the closed session, we discussed three items. One was a personnel matter. Two were,
Mayor, it's a matter of Gottschall versus Borough of Roselle Park, possible litigation, and Heart of Worship Church and George Legacy versus Borough of Roselle Park pending litigation.
and due to circumstances, all three are still pending, because one is a borough employee and the other two are still pending legal action. At this time, nothing was taken as far as official action. At this time, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the April 16, 2015 meeting. Thank you.